Hello everybody, and welcome to the Penelope Possum channel with me, your host, Penelope the Possum. A few updates. Making a teeny tiny little possum for my desk. He'll, or she'll, it will be our friend throughout this. Got some food here to eat. It'll be yummy and tasty. Scarf's nearly done. I've only got like a little bit of yarn to go. Pants? I'm not wearing any. I'm wearing a skirt, which is not pants. And today the main topic of discussion while we're playing Minecraft is going to be, modern design and YouTube content and how it has gotten a lot worse. Specifically kids content. So, aw, boo, it's raining out here. Oh well. We've got donkeys and creepers. Got this big tree now. I don't know what to do with it. The one thing I do appreciate about this game that I like more than Palworld is that there isn't a specific defined amount of space I am allowed to use, or else the durability of my stuff will go down quicker. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the failings of... Really? Really? I'm trying to eat. You little mushroom butt. The least you could do is say hi to the stream. Anyways, so yes, we're here to talk again in Minecraft about the modern design practice of brutalism. Or as I like to call it, corporations taking all the things that made them fun and interesting and killing them. Now, think back to the older videos. Think back to when you were younger and you went to McDonald's. It used to be cool, right? Like in the 80s, 90s, etc. It used to have cool things like play places and the ever-present, oh so sticky and gross ball pits. and stuff. It had poison ivy. Now look at a modern day McDonald's building. You'll notice a key difference in the fact that, well, there isn't as much personality, for one. For another thing, play places are basically extinct. Which I can see how it could be a good thing because kids would get hurt. The lack of maintenance on the play places was often, due to funding issues with the stores and stuff. Like, they can't even keep their dang ice cream machines running. They don't know much about their ice cream machines. But I've interacted with a few things that make ice cream. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. The play places were great because you were introduced into so many unique and odd diseases. Especially those ball pits. You know those balls in those pits were never cleaned, ever. The ice cream machines are a scam. But the main thing they're missing is the color and the shape of their natural state. McDonald's used to have a specific shape. All stores used to have a specific shape. Company that makes them intentionally design them to break so they have to keep getting repaired? Probably, yeah. It's probably a designed obsolescence thing. Which is another can of worms we're not opening on this stream. We're gonna continue on about the lack of soul in modern day buildings and companies. While I build my pretty pink Barbie house. Anyways, every store you can think of modern day had a specific and unique look and shape to it. Yeah, McDonald's used to be a whimsical and drug-fueled paradise where it looks like you gave a bunch of artists a bunch of mushrooms and cocaine, told them to consume it all and design a food restaurant. And that's what you got. Now, yes, it is a much more sterile, boring hellscape. You're lucky if you get a different color of brick. The most common brick color used in most modern day McDonald's is classic gray. Very sterile, very boring, very safe. Not taking any of the risks of the 90s and 80s. If the 90s and 80s was a time of experimentation and risk-taking, the modern day 2020s are a day of sterilization and safety, often to the detriment of well-established brand identities, making a lot of older consumers feel like their childhoods are dying, often alienating multiple kinds of people too. And we're also going to be talking about content farms and how I feel about them personally. They suck. I hope everybody who's in charge of making content farms dies in a fire. I'm not saying YouTube entertainment or entertainment as a whole has always been perfect or great or even good. There's always and always will be bad content made for children specifically. But there seems to be an extreme abundance of it now. An extreme abundance of these mind-numbingly stupid contents. That just make you wonder what happened to good entertainment. Specific example I'm going to use today is YouTube Kids and the content farm formula. Hello, we are talking about the current hellscape of modern day YouTube children's entertainment media, as well as the current hellscape of design and architecture that companies are using. But I was just watching a video earlier today about this amazing old McDonald's that was made in the 70s, Big Shock. It used to have all these cool features and interesting things to do. Yeah, YouTube is basically raising children from day one nowadays. That's a big part of the problem, but we'll get back to that in just a second. Corporate designs these days are well known for soulless, bland, flavorless, boring designs. That is the current truth of corporate advertising. Oh man, I'm sorry. Every single building of any commercial success not too long ago used to have its own personality and personal design. Now a building could be a hospital or a children's toy store or literally anything, and it doesn't matter because all the layouts and the looks are the same. It's just the sector where it was built. Yes, it was fun. I feel like I missed out a lot with not being born like in the actual 90s, where things actually had some kind of fun tone to them. So what happened? Well, I don't know exactly what happened. Yeah, most places have added free Wi-Fi instead of having a playground. I think that's because they were worried about the amount of lawsuits they were getting from parents. With their kids getting hurt on play places and getting sick. What? I think the main purpose of having every building look very similar to one another is that I think it has all to do Just with the fact that a lot of stores don't have as much staying power as they used to. Okay. But don't forget, the parents are the ones giving these kids these iPads. Parents, teachers, babysitters, they're all using these pieces of technology to try and help either educate or raise or do some other odd work with them. Oh my god. And this attitude of not wanting to raise the child you helped bring into the world started not too long ago. And I feel like it only got worse after COVID. Because before, where you could usually just pawn your kid off on the teachers and let them deal with the problem. Now, your kid's stuck at home 24/7. You have no escape from this child you made. No breaks. No time off. And parents, a lot of them, in the modern day, saw kids less as, well, kids, you know. I think I'm going to start making the bridge over there today with stone and such. But the attitude of not wanting to raise your children is not a new one. Even when I was a slightly youngin', I saw on TV all the time examples of cartoons where the parents were completely not involved or cared about their child's life, well-being, or anything. Often setting their child into the hands of some secondary caretaker like a babysitter or someone else. Yes, a lot of people who homeschool their children have no business homeschooling their children. And a lot of people homeschool their children purely because of the fact that they think that they know what's best, when they really don't. Yes, everyone wants to control what their child knows, etc. It's usually a bigger problem with parents who are involved with cults. They want every formative idea and thought of everything to revolve around the cult. They don't want their child to have any free ideas or thinking. It all has to be about the cult. And I'm not just talking like obvious cults, like, I don't know, Scientology. Ooh, that's a hot button topic. I genuinely feel like that's like one of the main issues with stuff like that is, well, there's no one to tell them no, usually. But that's not part of the point. The main point is, as far back as the early 2000s, parents seems to have been referred to as these characters that weren't really in your life and didn't want you in there, and pawned you off on whoever they could get, whenever they could get a chance to. They wanted as little to do with your life and as little of you to do with their life as humanly possible. A perfect example I can think of is the Fairly Odd Parents and how the Turners treated Timmy. You know, their only child, the only living child they have. Think about how Mr. and Mrs. Turner treated Timmy when he was in the show and they were in the show. They were always going out to do something fun and enjoyable that usually could involve a child, like going to an amusement park or something. But they never invited Timmy into these activities. Like, obviously they did do activities where you wouldn't want a child, I'm sure. But in the show it was usually, we're going to this super awesome fun amusement park with lots of attractions and fun things. But we're not inviting you, our only child, because we just don't like you, I guess. And they'd pawn him off on his evil babysitter, Vicky. Now, that might have been an extreme exaggeration of the case. Of what it was actually like for a lot of people. But I'm sure there's more than one person out there that can relate to the fact that their parents more or less didn't want anything to do with their lives. Always found the trope in cartoons and media of all types of the uncaring or stupid parent that just left their kid to the elements very strange. Because I've said before, my parents actually did care about me and my life and wanted me to be involved in things. I actually thought it was funny when I watched The Fairly Odd Parents and I'd see Timmy getting, like, ignored by his parents because I thought it was just so ridiculous. I could not possibly imagine, in my mind, the fact that a parent... yeah. Well, that and a few other things, but... yeah. I think it was always a thing that you'd pawn your kids off occasionally on other people. Babysitters, family friends, family members. But it's become such a bigger thing, and I think especially after COVID, when it was pretty much impossible not to have your child in the house all the time, that people really started realizing how tough it was to actually have a kid without someone else there to help take care of part of the burden. Like, without schools, a lot of kids were stuck home with only their parents. And for a lot of parents, that was basically a nightmare come true. Not only were they not really allowed to have their kid go off to a friend's house or their family friend's house or their grandma's house or whatever have you. They couldn't even have their kid go to school to have a break from their kid. There were no babysitters. There were no any way to get away from your kid. And they started realizing how badly their kid acted. Well, they didn't want to deal with the problem. They had other more important things to do, like scrolling on TikTok for hours. So what was the second best way to get your kid off your back that didn't involve interacting with people? Technology. Specifically, iPads, because they were these huge screens that you could set into a child's hand that were essentially like a much cheaper laptop or a phone. And it has endless amounts of YouTube videos and other such things. Or both at the same time, yeah. But eventually, these absentee parents started to notice the things that their kids were watching on their iPads weren't always, you know, kid-friendly. This would become known as ElsaGate. There were hundreds of these content farms, which is a name given to a specific type of YouTube channel or any kind of channel anywhere, which is used to describe a channel that uploads content of a lackluster nature, often with very poor animation and visuals. We know IMR Scary Tales isn't the best looking or animated. Out there. We know that. But we can at least appreciate that there is some amount of effort put into this. I hear sheep. Now, a lot of these videos, as you might have gathered by the title given to them via ElsaGate, had characters like Elsa or Spider-Man in them. Because at the time they were being made, Elsa and Spider-Man were very popular. And often included not child-safe or appropriate themes like medical procedures, cheating, loss of life and injury. Oh, bye. See you later. And enough parents complained to YouTube that they created a separate app specifically for children that was supposedly to help get rid of all the ElsaGate stuff. Now, a lot of the original Elsagate stuff did go away. There were far fewer videos out there of Elsa and Spider-Man going to the doctor to get a checkup on their baby. But eventually it came to be that with YouTube Kids, yeah, color coordination makes everything look very boring. Gotta start breeding some aminals. I think right here would be a good place for the bridge. Just clear out these. Yeah. Which results in a lot of very odd looking storefronts and signs. Like, I believe there's a McDonald's in, I want to say Arizona, that had to change the color of its sign from yellow to blue due to certain regulations. Yeah, right from here to over there. That'd be perfect. Is this bunny alright? There it goes. But also with the advent of YouTube Kids came the fact that now all this kids content had a new platform far away from the prying eyes of most parents that it could sit and fester in. I'm not the first person to talk about either of these subjects. And I won't be the last, for sure. Yeah, but I feel like with YouTube Kids, that content got a new place to, well, be what it is. As much as we want to think and believe that kids' shows and media can be more than just educational content, kids are going to learn things from shows and content no matter what. Even if it's not designed specifically to be educational, there are things to learn from these. Learn their colors, learn whatever. There's usually some kind of underlying message that can be gleaned. Yeah. See, you can use YouTube videos to educate people on things and stuff. But a lot of this isn't actually educational. A majority of this is just strange content with no underlying message that I can think of. Need more granite. But there are kids' channels on YouTube that are great. The sad part is they're overshadowed and outweighed by the seemingly endless amounts of channels. And they're purely made just to get as many clicks and views. As much watch time as possible. Should have marked it with a torch or something. Jerk. Yeah, a lot of it is like that. There's no incentive for anybody to make genuinely good content anymore. In fact, I'd honestly say there's more incentive for people to make mindless trash than anything. You don't even have to mention the maker. You could say that about a lot of current creators of certain kinds of videos. I use that term loosely because, well, I don't really feel like they're videos. And to be honest, they really aren't. Ah, biscuits. Well, luckily I have logs. Table de craft. But like, I feel like there's one particular creator who has done a lot worse, in my opinion, for like bad content made for children specifically. And I am going to mention his name because I don't care. He's not going to do anything. I'm just a blip in the YouTube sphere. LankyBox. LankyBox is a YouTube / TikTok creative studio, mostly geared towards kids. What do they make videos of? From what I've seen, complete nonsense. But he gets hundreds, if not millions, of views on his videos. And one of the biggest issues lately with children's entertainment on YouTube is CoComelon. If you've not heard of or seen something CoComelon related, I envy you. I really do, because this schlock seems truly and honestly like pure brain rot. It's essentially supposed to be like a show made for babies. You know, one of the most fundamental developmental milestones of children. What's it about? Bright and shiny colors with lots of fun little sing-along songs, it seems. And I say these things like it seems or I am uncertain of because, well, I'm not gonna watch these for one. And two, it's kind of hard to pin down what they actually do in some cases. Like, what the shows, quote unquote, are supposed to be about? How to describe the content being made? There is no real answer, and there never was supposed to be. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Not unless you have a few extra brain cells to spare. Even then, it is not recommended to look these things up, and I would not recommend bullying the creators of these things. I think one of the most popular subgenres of these kids' channels is toy reviews. Which I could see being popular for parents more than kids. The unnamed creators videos left you with no brain cells to spare. You wanted to be on my lap. Yeah. But yeah. Oh my god. I hate to say it, but there's just too many content creators out there who genuinely do not care about the quality of what they're making and just care if it's doing good numbers wise. Oh yeah, there's a lot more violence in schools now. Yeah. Most fail because they don't know what they're doing. Oh yeah, there need to be. But even if there was, content like this would still slip through the cracks. I remember it was way worse when I was a kid with YouTube. There was a lot of stuff that was not appropriate for anybody to be watching, let alone someone who was my age when I was watching it. I remember vaguely these strange videos about living poop and so many weirdness. Yeah. One slew of video type I remember a lot of and seeing a lot of was these transformation videos of boys turning into these beautiful women. And I feel like to some degree that might have awakened some things in some people. Oh yeah, everybody thinks they know everything. I forget what it's called exactly, but there's this graph essentially showing how much someone might know on a subject and how much they think they know. It could be that, or it could have just been the fact that there was an absolute freaking lawless wasteland where modern day YouTube used to stand. I wouldn't say you're a conspiracy nut. Don't forget, a lot of conspiracies end up being true. I also wanted some of this stuff because I think it'd be cool. Need more diorite for sure as these though. You wanna know something I've noticed throughout my time working? The one thing I get complimented on the most is how nice I am. And that always baffles me because I do not think of myself as a nice person. I don't think of myself as particularly kind or friendly. And yet those are the exact things I get complimented on, that I'm very sweet and friendly and nice. And I just do not see it. There's lava nearby. Anytime people tell me I'm so nice and friendly, I really want to tell them that it's not really me being friendly, it's the paycheck being friendly. But I know that's a bad idea. Yeah, it's like every service worker is supposed to be nice and friendly, but a lot of people don't even put that effort through anymore. So I guess that's why I'm getting complimented on how friendly and welcoming I am, is the fact that I'm bother enough to put up the facade of the average retail worker used to. Oh yeah, remember when we were watching the Dr. Bob video and I said the most unrealistic part of the SCP video was the fact that the demons were actually able to find a worker and get service? Yeah, sometimes I forget things like that. Yeah, to this day, it's not the fact that there were demons and angels in the store. No, it's the fact that they were able to find an employee and ask them a question and get some kind of answer. First off, I'm thinking checkerboard pattern between these two for the main body of the bridge. Then I'm thinking railings made out of this. And that'll just be so cool. As I gather these resources, I'm going to also gather other resources that I need, like coal and iron and lapis lazuli and whatever have you. I don't know how many I'm gonna need, but more is better than less. don't like one thing about andesite, and that is difficult to differentiate it from cobblestone sometimes. Gonna get 2 stacks of each at least. See, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. I just need a buttload more. Right. I need a new pickaxe. Oh, I know what to do. $36. I need 36. It's nice to have an actual number. And that's everything. Alright, that should be enough, maybe? We can always come back down and get more. Stopped raining up there. How long have I been down here? Ooh, too long. It's nighttime. There's critters. Haha, get muffined nerves. Oh boy. I nearly got muffined, nerds. Would you get away from here, you little freak? Come on. There's a cheddar boy out there.
He's in here being a bastard.
When isn't he? Get that boy. Bother his dumb little butterbutt.
Got him.
Alright, so I think I'm gonna stop this here tonight. So I can finish up my dinner and maybe enjoy some videos. We'll continue on another time, probably Tuesday. Saturday we'll be playing some more Five Nights at Freddy's and maybe doing something other than reacting to a video. I don't know. I have an idea. I just don't know if it'll work. I'm probably going to do it anyways because it's my channel, so my rules. Good. I have fun conversating with you guys as well. I like hearing the general attitudes and ideas of chat and the comments as well. So good night to you all, my loyal possums. Subscribe to join the Possum Posse today if you haven't already. If you feel like it, doesn't matter too much to me, but it'd be neat. Like and comment to see more little cute figurines I make, and to have more conversations about the terrible designs things have. Anyways, good night everybody, and have a good time. The cat, Shib feels nothing but hate and rage. She angry. Shibby, come here, you little butter limp. Come here, you limp little butter noodle. Say goodbye. Oh, the statue? Yes. Okay. I forgot I showed you guys that. Thank you. Say bear. Say bye-bye. Say bye. Come on. Say bye-bye. Oh. Anyways, that's the end of the stream tonight. Good night.